But basically, the temperature has been increasing over the past century or so, as the data released today have shown. And the fact that we've had so many of the warmest years happened in the last 15 to 20 years of the record is really indicative that this is really a temperature change, a global warming. And the fact that that has happened simultaneously with increases in carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere and releases of other greenhouse gases is really very conclusive proof that this is a signal of human-induced global warming. One of the factors that probably we thought might make it not the warmest year was the fact that it wasn't a warm ENSO event year. Typically, the warmest years happen because of in coincidence with ENSO events, but that last year wasn't. So I think we just have to look to generally the fact that the Earth is warming. There are always going to be small ups and downs in temperature just due to different processes happening in the atmosphere, oceans, and on the land. I think it's not a particularly remarkable thing taken in the context of what we'd seen over the past few years. I mean, obviously, when you live in one particular place and experienced a very cold winter on the east coast of the United States in early 2014, and again some fairly cool temperatures in the late part of 2014. The local weather seems to be suggesting it's not quite as hot as it has been, but you really do have to put that into a global context, and you see that when you look over the entire globe, there were relatively few cool areas this year, and that's what makes the 2014 record sort of happen like it did. Yeah, so I mean, we see that since the 1970s, the surface temperature of the Earth as a whole has increased by about 1.25 degrees. And regionally, every year you get some fluctuations regionally, where it's cooler in some places, warmer in other places. That change has happened fairly constantly since the 1970s in the global mean temperature. Yeah, we can see, you know, if we look at the data that were released today, you can see that that trend happened through the 1970s quite strongly. There may have been a hint of a pause at one point, but really that's just the type of natural fluctuations in global temperatures taking over. And in recent years, the trend is clearly a positive one again. So there's that increase is very persistent over time when you take out those short-term fluctuations of a few years in that record. I think from a NASA perspective, you have to think that we've got a wonderful fleet of satellites that are providing information about many aspects of the Earth, like the atmosphere, the land, the oceans, and the cryosphere. But those data really exist only for the past 1 or 2 or 3 decades. The surface temperature record is a thermometer-based data set. It's been measured in a consistent way for way over 100 years now, and that really gives us a strong grounding. It's a strong and accurate record that we can use to calibrate things and to check against a constant database of how things are changing in the longer term.